Good morning, all of you. So today, let me explain you people the features of socialism, which I have made you people underline. Okay. So under the features of socialism, you see the first feature: socialistic ownership of productive resources. What you people have underlined? All the productive resources such as land, mines, mills, factories, bank, trade are owned and controlled by the state. Is it clear? By the state. So here in place of state you can write even government. Okay, so socialistic ownership of productive resources. Okay, so means the whole society is the owner of all the productive resources, but all the productive resources owned, controlled and managed by the state. State means by the government. That is the first feature. See the second feature, economic planning. Yes, the way we yesterday I have explained you that in capitalism, price mechanism is the coordinating agency. Why price mechanism is coordinating agency in capitalistic economic system? Because there is no government interference. But socialistic economic system is the economic system which is owned, controlled and managed by the government. So economic planning plays a significant role. Who makes economic planning in India? Earlier it was Planning Commission, now Niti Aayog. We have a Niti Aayog who make the economic planning in India. Niti Aayog is one of the government agency who makes all the economic planning. Similarly, in socialistic economic system, it is the government who have the agency called economic planning and who makes the planning of the whole economy. Socialist economic system does not work with the help of price mechanism, that is with the help of two forces, demand and supply. No. Socialistic economic system is the system where there is, we have studied, one sector, public sector. Is it clear? All the productive resources are owned by the society, managed and controlled by the government for the aim of what? Social welfare, through the proper economic planning. So second feature of socialistic economic system is economic planning. Now see all of you, what you people have underlined. Economic planning replaces the price mechanism in socialist economy. Yes, it replaces. In capitalist economy, how the economy function? With price mechanism. And what replaces price mechanism in socialism? Economic planning. So economic planning replaces the price mechanism in socialistic economic system. Then the Central Planning Authority allocate all productive resources according to a definite plan. The Central Planning Authority, there is an authority. The name of the authority is Central Planning Authority. Okay, what the Central Planning Authority does? It allocate. Allocate means distribute. Allocate word is used. Allocate all productive resources means distribute all productive resources according to a definite plan. First, they make a definite plan. On the basis of that definite plan, they do the distribution of all the productive resources in an economy. Then, in accordance with social and economic goals set by it. Yes, social and economic. They have a goal. Goal of social welfare and economic development. So what is the function of economic planning? The Central Planning Authority distribute all the productive resources according to the definite plan to fulfill the objective of social and economic goals. And the same thing in capitalism is done by price mechanism. Now see further. All important decisions regarding what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, allocation of resources and saving and investment are taken by it. Taken by it means taken by Central Planning Authority. Now see the third feature. What is the third feature of socialism? Main motive is to attain social welfare. What do people have underlined? See, the motive of social, third feature, social welfare as the motivating force. All of you please open your book of the features of socialism. I am explaining. Don't see this video without your book, because I have made you people underline and I am explaining those underlined points only. Now, the motive of social welfare replaces the Replaces the profit motive. What is the main motive of capitalism? Profit motive. What replaces profit motive of capitalism and socialism? Social welfare. So social welfare replaces the profit motive of capitalism. A socialist economy seeks to maximize the interest and welfare of the entire economy. That is the main aim of socialistic economy, to maximize the interest and welfare of the entire society, to give more and more welfare to the entire society. That is the main aim of socialistic economic system. Now come to the fourth point. What is the fourth feature? Economic equality. अब इसको समझो तुम. What is the meaning of economic equality? It means providing equal opportunity to all the members of the society. What do you mean by providing equal opportunity to all the members of the society? It does not mean everyone must earn the same income. No, nowhere. Everyone cannot earn the same income, because every individual's education, talent, efficiency is different from each other. What the government has to do? Government has to provide opportunity of job for every individual. Who will earn how much income will depends on the talent, efficiency, qualification of the person. So what do you mean by economic equality? Economic equality is one of the strong characteristics of socialistic economic system. Under economic equality, the main aim of the government is to provide equal opportunity to work for every member of the society. And equality does not mean every member of the society must earn equal income. No, equality means every person should get a job according to his or her qualification. That is what it is written in the points which I have made you underline. See now in the book. It aims at introducing equity in the distribution of income and wealth. What is the main aim? To maintain equity. Equity means equality in the distribution of income and wealth. How equality in the distribution of income and wealth? Next line. It also aims at providing, this is the most important line. What do you mean by equality? It aims at providing equal opportunities to all. However, it does not mean that socialistic society try to bring about absolute equality. Absolute equality नहीं कि अगर एक 10,000 पाएगा तो दूसरा भी 10,000 पाएगा. ये मतलब नहीं होता इक्वालिटी का. इक्वालिटी का मतलब ये होता है कि सबको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले, सबको कुछ शेयर मिले इनकम और वेल्थ का. कितना शेयर हर इंडिविजुअल को मिलेगा ये उसके एफिशिएंसी, टैलेंट, हार्डवर्क, ऑनेस्टी और उसकी क्वालिफिकेशन पे डिपेंड करेगा. सो the main aim of the socialistic economic system is to bring equity in the distribution of income and wealth, means it aims at providing equal opportunity to all. But it does not mean to maintain absolute equality. This is not the aim of the socialistic economic system. Even nowhere it is the aim. Is it clear? So it depends. But the government will provide opportunity to every member of the society. Further. So I think you people have understood the fourth point. Now see the fifth point. Classless society. No class. Where class exists in capitalism? Capitalist and laborers. Two class exists. But under socialistic system, एक ही एजेंसी है जो प्रोड्यूस करती है. कौन? गवर्नमेंट. अंडर पब्लिक सेक्टर सारे प्रोडक्शन गवर्नमेंट करते हैं और सारे जो सोसाइटी के मेंबर्स होते हैं वो लेबरर्स होते हैं. सो ऑल आर लेबर्स इन सोशलिस्ट इकोनॉमी, नॉट लाइक कैपिटलिज्म. कैपिटलिज्म में एक क्लास होता है जो ओनर होता है ऑल द प्रोडक्टिव रिसोर्स, जिसको कहते हैं कैपिटलिस्ट. एक क्लास होता है लेबर्स. तो दो क्लासेस फॉर्म होती है कैपिटलिज्म में. In capitalism, there is a formation of two classes which does not exist in socialistic economic system. Because in socialistic economic system, government does production and it hire every member. So every individual in socialistic economic system belongs to one class. What class? Working class or labor class. So there is no class in socialism. So it's a classless society. which is a classless society? Socialistic economic system. See the point which you people have underlined. A socialist society aims at establishing classless society. As all the productive resources are owned by the state, the capitalist class simply don't exist. All the productive resources are owned by whom? State. State means government. So no question of having a class of capitalist. Then all people earn their income by working for the state. Every people of the country earns income by working for the government or for the state. Then therefore they get income in the form of what income? Labor income. Everyone get labor income. Everyone is labor in socialistic economy. No one is capitalist. No one is industrialist. Who is capitalist or industrialist? Only one, that is government. Further, there is no scope of unearned income. Unearned income की कोई scope यहाँ नहीं होती है. कहाँ नहीं होती है? Socialistic economic system. It's a classless society. Last feature, elimination of competition. किससे competition होगा जब एक ही producer है? कौन? Government. No question of what? Competition. But we have studied one of the important feature of capitalism is competition. There is a rivalry between the owners of the productive resources, between the capitalists. But this is not the case in case of the socialist economic system. Here, there is no competition because there is only one productive unit, that is government, and no competition with government, and all are laborers. So see the point. The socialist economic system competition of all types. Okay, the socialist economic system eliminates competition of all types. So, since the government has monopoly of production of all types of goods in a socialist economy, there is no scope of competition and rivalry between different production. कोई production unit है ही नहीं, सिर्फ एक ही production unit है, वो है government. तो question ही नहीं उठता किसी तरीके की क्या competition का. Okay, so I have explained you people features of socialistic economic system. First feature, socialistic ownership of productive resources. All the productive resources are owned by the society, controlled and managed by the government. Second feature, economic planning. In socialist economic system, economic planning replaces the price mechanism in capitalism. And the central planning authority makes economic planning according to definite plan to fulfill social and economic goals. Third feature, social welfare. The main aim of socialistic economic system is to maximize the interest and welfare of the entire society. What is the fourth feature? To maintain economic equality. The socialist economic system always wants to maintain equity in the distribution of income and wealth. It aims to provide equal opportunity to all. Next, classless. It's a classless society. There is only one all the productive resources are used by the government to do the production. Is it clear? Owned by the government, controlled by the government. So there is only one class, labor class, and they earn labor income. There is no unearned income in socialist economic system. Then comes to the next point, that is elimination of no competition. There is only one production unit, that is government. No question of having any kind of the competition. Now come to the features of mixed economic system. Mixed economic system. All of you just see the features of the mixed economic system, which I have made you people underline. But before that, see the meaning of mixed economic system. Page number 60. All of you, page number 60. Now open your book, page number 60. We'll start with the mixed economic system. A mixed economy is an economy which combines the element of both the capitalist and socialist economies. Okay, मैंने तुमको पहले ही बताया था कि mixed economic system is a mixture of the elements of socialistic and capitalistic economy. Then, a mixed economy is characterized by the coexistence of both private and public sector. Two sectors exist in mixed economy, private and public. On the one hand, the private sector operates by using price mechanism. How private sector work? Through price mechanism. How public sector work? Through economic planning. Is it clear? That is called your mixed economy. Next, see the features of the mixed economy. What is the features of the mixed economy? First one, coexistence of public and private sector. See the underlined point? The main feature of mixed economy is the coexistence of public and private sector. Public sector represents that part of the economy which is operated, managed by the state or the government. The public sector dominates in those fields which require huge amount of investment. Yes, now try to understand what public sector tells. Public sector represents that part of the economy which is operated and managed by the government. Public sector उस पार्ट को बिलोंग करता है जो मैनेज और कंट्रोल्ड बाय गवर्नमेंट होता है, और पब्लिक सेक्टर उन्हीं एरिया में इन्वेस्टमेंट करता है जिसको ह्यूज इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए. प्राइवेट सेक्टर कभी वहां इन्वेस्ट नहीं करेगा जहां पे ह्यूज इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए, क्योंकि ह्यूज इन्वेस्टमेंट में प्रॉफिट कम मिलता है. इसलिए कोई भी प्राइवेट सेक्टर कभी भी उस एरिया में इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं करता है जहां पे बहुत ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट की जरूरत. वहां कौन करता है इन्वेस्टमेंट? पब्लिक सेक्टर. So, first paragraph tells you about the public sector. The main feature of mixed economy is the coexistence of public and private sector. Public sector represents that part of the economy which is operated and managed by the state or the government. The public sector dominates those fields which require what investment? Huge investment. क्योंकि private sector वहां कभी invest नहीं करेगा. Next point. About the private sector. The private sector, on the other hand, indicate that part of the economy which is owned, managed and operated by whom? Private individuals. So, public sector is owned, managed and operated by government or state. Private sector is owned, managed and controlled by the private individuals. Further, the private sector operates with the objective of what? Earning profit. The main aim of the private sector is to earn profit. Then, it dominates such sectors as agriculture, consumer goods industries, retail trade. इन्हीं सेक्टर्स में यहाँ पे कम इन्वेस्टमेंट की जरूरत होती है. कैपिटल गुड्स इंडस्ट्रीज में ह्यूज इन्वेस्टमेंट की जरूरत होती है. कौन इन्वेस्ट करता है वहां पे? Public sector. So the first feature we have completed. See the second feature. Coexistence of capitalist and socialist features. कुछ फीचर्स कैपिटलिज्म से ली गई हैं, कुछ फीचर्स सोशलिज्म से ली गई हैं. कौन से फीचर्स कैपिटलिज्म की हैं? यहाँ पे देखो ना. A mixed economy combines the features of both capitalist and socialist economies. It is characterized by the presence of private property, profit motive, competition, price mechanism. 4 characteristics is taken from capitalism. What are the 4? The first one, the presence of private property. Private property is allowed in mixed economy also. Profit motive, the main aim of the private sector in mixed economy is to earn profit. Competition, there is a competition in the private sector between different industrialists. And price mechanism. Private sector work with the system of price mechanism. Then, what features they have taken from socialism? On the other hand, there is presence of economic planning. Yes, in India also there is economic planning. Then, government regulation of economic activity and emphasis on economic equality. All these features they have taken from socialism. Now see the third feature, economic planning. In India is a mixed economy. In mixed economic system, economic planning like socialism exists. The Central Planning Authority makes a definite plan, makes a plan according to a definite plan to fulfill the social and economic goals of the country. Same thing here. Now see the point of economic planning. An important feature of mixed economic system is economic planning. Economic planning is essential to promote economic development, to ensure smooth and systematic operation of the economy, to regulate the entire economy, and to have a coordinated operation of public and private sector. So who is the coordination between public and private sector? Economic planning. Next feature, regulation and control of the private sector. Yes, in mixed economy, private sector is not uncontrolled. In capitalist economy, private sector, there is no restrictions at all. But this is not the case in case of mixed economy. Private sector, किसी भी mixed economy में private sector like industries, like take the example, one of the industries in India. India is the example of the mixed economy. Reliance Private Limited. India is the example of mixed economy. इंडिया के जितने भी प्राइवेट सेक्टर इंडस्ट्रीज हैं उनके साथ एक वर्ड जुड़ा होता है, लिमिटेड. गोदरेज प्राइवेट लिमिटेड, रिलायंस प्राइवेट लिमिटेड, Tata Private Limited. What? Why limited? Because all the industries in private sector in India are controlled and regulated by the government. They are not having complete freedom. But this complete freedom is there in capitalism in the private sector. But it is not there in private sector in mixed economy. So that is what the fourth point. Regulation and control of the private sector. Private sector is controlled and regulated under mixed economic system. They don't have the full freedom. How regulated and controlled? See the point. The government plays an important part in the mixed economic system by regulating the private sector. There is no room for unregulated private sector in mixed economy. No room. No room means there is no place of unregulated private sector in mixed economy. In mixed economy, the private sector is controlled and regulated by the government. Okay, next point. Promotion of social welfare. Public sector. What is the main aim of the public sector? To maximize interest and welfare of the entire society. See the point. Promotion of social welfare is a very important objective of mixed economic system. The government makes effort to promote the welfare of the entire community. This is the feature of the mixed economy. Then price mechanism. Next feature. Price mechanism exists in which sector in mixed economy? Private sector. In private sector, price mechanism exists, but not completely. See the point. In mixed economy, price mechanism plays an important role. Price mechanism is allowed to function subject to certain regulation through price control, fixation of minimum wages and other such measures. Price mechanism exist करता है. Prices determine होती है private sector में through two forces, demand and supply. लेकिन through certain regulation. What are the regulations under price mechanism? Price control, fixation of minimum wages and other such measures. Is it clear? Next, profit motive. In mixed economy, whose aim is the profit motive? Private sector. See the point. Though the public sector is guided largely by the motive of social welfare, profit motive remains the guiding motive of which sector? Private sector. I think nothing is there to explain in this point. Next. Preservation of freedom. Yes, full freedom. Preservation. Freedom. Producers are free. Consumers are free. Is it clear? See, a mixed economic system is characterized by economic and political freedom. It provides enough scope for private initiative and enterprise. Freedom of choice of occupation exists. People are free to save and invest as they like. Consumers are free to choose the goods and services they want to consume. However, this economic freedom is not absolute. पूरी एब्सोल्यूट फ्रीडम नहीं है. जैसे कैपिटलिज्म में पूरा फ्रीडम है, यहाँ पे एब्सोल्यूट फ्रीडम, सबको फ्री है. कंज्यूमर्स आर फ्री टू टेक देयर डिसीजन, प्रोड्यूसर्स आर फ्री टू टेक देयर डिसीजन, बट नॉट एब्सोल्यूट फ्रीडम. Little bit of restriction is there because this is a system where private and public sector both exist. Okay, so these are the features of mixed economic system. Okay, mixed economic system. So children, today I have completed the features, meaning and features of all the three systems. Today I'm going to upload one more video. In that I'm going to make you people underline the merits and demerits of capitalistic and socialistic and mixed economic system. Okay, that I'm going to do. But one thing you see in page number 60, a table is given. Difference between capitalist and socialist economic system. A table. What is the first point? Economic resources are owned by private individual. Under capitalist, if you have to study this table, because I have explained you the features, you people have to study this table. Page number 60, the table number 4.2. Okay, in my next video, I'm going to upload the merits and demerits of all the three economic systems. Is it clear? For just now this much, one more video you will see today. Okay, thank you children.